What's up, guys? Just here back to my channel tonight, being review for Aew Dynamite that went overtime again, as always. So let's get to it then. With the kickoff, Kenny Omega kicks things off with a segment. We hear the familiar sounds of Kenny Omega's theme music, and out comes the brand new AEW International Champion to kick off this week's show. Omega says this is still like a dream to him. He can't believe it's early. It's still early into 2025, and he's not only doing this again, but thanks to support from fans and even Will Ospreay, he holds not just a title, but a singles title. Yep. The cleaner goes on to talk about how he's happy to hold this title, especially as he wants to be recognized as the best planet on the entire planet. He brings up Tony Khan's idea for an international tournament series leading up to AEW Dynasty 2025 to determine his first title challenger. He likes that idea. He wraps up and walks out to end a very basic opening segment. Alright, first match coming up, Samoa Joe, Hook, and Kazori Shibata versus Vinny Pacifico, Eli Therzas, and Gabriel Eros. As Kenny is leaving, he has a standoff with the Ops who make their way down to the ring. Joe starts out murdering one of the squash meat and tags in Hook. Another member of the squash meat enters and gets beat down by Hook. The third member of the squash meat comes in, charges Hook, but he steps aside and the guy falls on his face. Shibata is now he knocks the other two members off the apron and proceeds to hammer his opposition. Pin for 2 count. Big PK from Shibata, followed by the cover for the 1-2-3. Very quick basic squash match victory for the Ops trio of Samoa Joe, Hook, and Kazori Shibata. So winners are Samoa Joe, Hook, and Kazori Shibata. Alright, big announcement regarding upcoming Street Fight AEW Dynasty. Backstage, Ricochet talked about getting screwed at Revolution, but says his quest for gold isn't over. He didn't want that drab ass rope anyways. But that title Kenny Omega has is pretty. It will look better around his waist. He knows all about Shibata. He is giving him the option to quit now and now show up at Collision. He is afraid that Shibata won't have his translator app to tell everyone that Ricky beat his ass. He does his Jadica ass sign off and wraps up. Okay. Alright, Excalibur announces that due to the ending of the world title match at Revolution, that Jon Moxley will face Cope next week for the AEW world title in a street fight. The winner then will go on to defend the title against Swerve Strickland at Dynasty. With that in mind, we shoot to Cope and Swerve Strickland to react to the announcement. Swerve says 1 year ago he became the first black AEW world champion, and in Philadelphia this year he'll do it again. Cope says he didn't lose to Moxley, but whoever he does challenge for that title at Dynasty will be worse to wear. Strickland says he hopes it is Cope, but he'll be ready either way. They fist bump and go their separate ways. We head to a commercial break. On that note, when the show returns, Jon Moxley does a promo backstage about underestimating Cope, but makes it clear that won't happen again in their street fight next week. Alright, second match coming up, Hologram Powerhouse Hobbs versus Brian Cage and Dre Let's Go, whatever. Okay, hold on, guys. Alright, inside the arena, the theme for the hologram hits. Out comes the mass high fire for the next match of the evening. Harley Graham is shown doing the same entrance pose as he is behind him. Powerhouse Hobbs' theme hits next, and out comes his partner. The two head to ring together for a scheduled tag team match. And after they settle inside the square circle, Hobbs' music dies on. The theme for their opponents plays, and out comes the Murder Machines duo of the Murder Hop Monster, Lance Archer, and the Machine Brian Cage coming to the ring. With them is the Beast Mortals. It will be Cage and Driscoll taking on Hobbs and Hologram. Hobbs and Cage brawl at ringside with Driscoll and Hologram duke it out in the ring. After order is restored, Cage and Driscoll settle into the early offensively. After Cage hits a big press slam, Jones, as Taz called it, the show heads to a mid-match commercial break. When the show returns, Cage hits a huge suplex into the ring spot on the big man. Hobbs' impressive stuff. After some more back forward action, Hobbs counters a tornado DDT into the spine buster for the pinfall victory. At nowhere, once the match wraps up, Lance Archer comes out and jaws with Hobbs and company. So winners are Hologram and Powerhouse Hobbs. Alright. MP backstage, blah blah. Backstage, Alicia Atal got word from the Hurston kid after a Revolution. Shelton wants to know whose ass they going to beat next. MVP says that is what he wants to see. And here he quotes TF Fletcher that you have to be the biggest and baddest. He wants the guys to take some time off and enjoy themselves. He has a business end of it. Shelton says they will take time off, but that no gym thing will be in the gym. MVP says that is what makes them the best. They want to hurt people. Alright, we have a segment coming up, a time to storm, react to highway ending and stuff. Footage is shown of the entire rivalry between Mario May and Tony Storm, and a bloody culmination at the Hollywood ending at AEW Revolution, which saw Storm win to retain her AEW Women's World Championship. Storm says, "With stitches in my lip, staples in my head, and glass in my ass, I stand before you to tell you that this tramp is a champ. This past Sunday at Revolution, it was my Hollywood ending, and a chunk of my heart will be gone forever. But this title means it was well worth it. It is time for a new beginning. It is her honor to be our AEW World Women's World Champion. AEW World Women's Champion. All right, sorry I didn't say that correctly. This is the most talented locker room in the world. There are so many champions, but when you fight with me, it's like visiting the zoo because she bleeds like a pig, lives like a giraffe, and will eat you like a lion. But she promises you will never hear her, never her meow because she is no pussy. No one swings like Storm. So ladies, put your keys in the bowl and let's get this started. This will be messy and sweaty, but it will always be times. Mega Bane attacks Storm from behind and poses over her as she lays out and on the stage. Alright, next match coming up. AEW National Championship Tournament Series, the Beast Mortals versus Speedball Mike Bailey. Alright, inside the arena, the Beast Mortals makes his way out to the ring for the first AEW National Championship Tournament Series match. He sells in the ring and awaits to find out who his Mystery Partner wildcard will be. After a healthy delay, the word Speedball flashes on the big screen, and the theme for Mike Bailey is to bring out the former TNA X Division champion. I think I remember him being a TNA. I don't remember. All right. Anyways, the fans go. The fans go nuts. The bell sounds and off we go. Bailey gets the early offensive lead after hitting a big spot on the floor. He poses directly into the camera. The show heads to mid-match commercial break. When the show returns, Mortals takes over, but not for long, as Bailey hits one impressive high spot after another, en route to a big victory. So, winner and advancing Speedball Mike Bailey. All right, we have Christian Cage and stage, and with Kip Sabian backstage too. All right, backstage, Christian Cage is shown making excuses for cash excuses and owes them apology. Cage says something Nick's mom doesn't like. Christian threatens her, telling her she'll be back working at the night shift at the Waffle House. If she speaks up again, he backs uh, Nick Wayne up against a wall, literally nose to nose, while punking him about his dad dying like a coward, and that being something he is absolutely not. He tells him he'll become AEW champion if that's the last thing he continue riding his coattails. A very intense, and very entertaining backstage segment wraps up on that note. Man, that was fucked up. That was crazy, man. All right, I have a segment coming up with MJF. Backstage, you receive footage of MJF being confronted for a post-match interview at AEW Revolution. The interviewer walks in just as MJF is still in his ring gear, talking to himself. In the mirror, he throws a punch and shatters the mirror, turns and yells at the interviewer to get out of here. Alright, inside the arena, MJF's theme hits, and now he sells in the ring and says he had things won against Heyman Page at AEW Revolution until Heyman cheap shot it him just like he did years ago. He assures Heyman things between the two of them are far from over. On that note, the Hurt Second theme hits, and out comes MVP by himself. He has to join MJF in the ring. The two stare with intensity at each other and then laugh and hug. MVP talks about giving MJF a ride years ago just for giving him advice. He wasn't impressive with that. He was impressed with the questions MJF was asking. MJF says he knew he see MJF down the road, and then he became world champion. fans instead of kicking ass. He offers a Her Syndicate business card to him. MJF tells MVP, with all due respect, he doesn't want his help nor need it, but ends up taking it. On that note, MVP walks off and the show heads to another commercial break. Alright, next match coming up, Max Caster versus Kanushka Takesha. When the show returns, Max Caster is in the ring boasting up about having the most popular t-shirt on Shop AW. He says it proves he was a popular one in the acclaim. He talks about having the most popular chant in AW. Let's go, Max! You're the best wrestler alive. Rolls right off his tongue. Caster says the people in Fresno are stupid. He says whoever answers his open challenge is stupid as well. So let's see who can survive the best wrestler alive. With that said, the theme for Kanushki Takesha hits. Dafa comes down, taking his robe off and walking with a purpose. He gets in the ring, and tense fans chant, "You fucked up." Caster thanks the fans for their concern. He tells Takesha he can't be out here to wrestle him because he killed him. He says he must be out here to invite him to join the Don Callis family. Caster says maybe he can do what Takesha didn't do and beat King Omega. Takeshi knocks out Caster with one shot, hits his finisher, and covers him for the squash match victory. So winner is Kanoshi Takesha. Alright, we have Jericho backstage and stuff. Alright, Chris Jericho is shown sitting backstage holding Gravity's mask and his ROH World Championship. He says Bandito is responsible for this. He asks how Gravity is going to look his mom or sister in the face after what he did to him in front of them. How Bandito will after being the reason it happened. Alright, next match coming up. Well, Nightingale versus Penelope Ford inside the ring. The upbeat theme for real Nightingale music. Hits, and out comes the happy-go-lucky women's contender for the next match of the evening. After she sells inside the square circle, her entrance tune wraps up. The music for her opponent plays, and out comes Penelope Ford. The bell sounds, and off we go. We see Nightingale take the early lead. Ford takes over. But Nightingale fights back and picks up the win. Once the match wraps up, as Nightingale is celebrating, she is attacked from behind by Ford with the chair. Chris Statlander runs out to make the save. Nightingale recovers and only sees Statlander. As Statlander tries telling Nightingale she came out to help, Megan Bain appears out of nowhere and lays them both out. So winner is Will Nightingale. Alright, being started, some Mercedes Monet backstage. Renee Paquette is standing by with her guests at this time. TBS champion Mercedes Monet, 4 belts. Monet enters the picture and asks Paquette to introduce her again with more pizzas. Billy Starks comes in and stands up for herself. Monet warns her next week she'll learn there's a price to pay when you mess with Monet. Alright, we have segment coming up with Will Ospreay. Inside the ring, Tony Schiavone is standing in the middle of the ring. He introduces his guest. At this time, Will Ospreay out comes the Aerial Assassin, fresh off his epic steel cage match against Kyle Fletcher at AW Revolution 2025. Ospreay sells in the ring and shows off his battle scars and injuries from the match. He matches Fletcher at his age, making a veteran like Ospreay struggle to keep up with him is impressive. He says they'll meet again someday, and he hopes he'll still be able to say he's the bear man. He says, to be honest, he's in trouble with his wife. He says he lied to her. Ospreay talks about promising his wife he wouldn't do anything out the cage. When he did, he went backstage and had 15 missed calls on his phone. Oh shit. He said she was happy he was okay, but yelled about his cage spot. Alright. Ospreay talks about Kobe having a world title match next week and Swerve Strickland having one at AEW Dynasty. It makes him wonder, when does he get his shot, and when would it matter most to get it? He stops and looks at the AEW All In Texas sign hanging in the rafters. He says he wants to be in the main event of that show. He says he knows one way he can get there, by entering the 2025 Owen Hart tournament. He says if it is Cole, he can't wait. If it's Swerve, he can't wait for that rematch. If it's John Moxley, he warns the king that an assassin is coming for the throne. Alright, I have a backstage promo thing with JY and stuff. Alright, backstage, Renee Paquette with her guest at this time. JY Switchblade mimics doing the Ospreay singing chant that the fans do. He says maybe one day they can see each other in the ring, but for now he wants to congratulate him on AW Revolution. Only a few nights later, he's begging for more. Paquette asks why about the briefcase and what happened at AW Revolution. He says everybody wants to know if he hit Cope on purpose. He asks if Paquette thinks he did. He yelled out to Rena and says, Fresno. If they think he did on purpose, he talks about Cope and Mox having a rematch next week. He says, who's number one contender? Swerve Strickland. He says he'll be damned if he lets anyone take his rightful place as the number one contender to the AW World Championship. He walks off and Paquette sends us into another commercial break. Alright, AW, alright, main event coming out, AW National Championship Tournament Series, Orange Cassidy versus Hedgehero. Main event time. But first, backstage, Renee Paquette tries to get a word from Heyman Page about his match at AW Revolution, only for MJF to interrupt. Page confronts him over to trying to light him on fire in his match sleeping on Sunday, only for MJF to come off. MJF talks about going on to other things while Page scratches and claws to the top only to tumble all the way down, wallowing in his self-pity. He says that one day the people are going to be sick of waiting for Page to win the big one, but MJF will win it over and over just to laugh at him from the top of the mountain. Page says, we'll see about that. Alright, inside the arena, Orange Cassidy and Cheryl make their respective ring entrances for the second AEW National Championship Tournament Series match of the evening, which serves as our main event this week. Jay Moss joins the gang on the call for their first time tonight. The bell sounds, and off we go. Hechero starts off by confusing Cassidy into a round of offense, but the former international champion takes Alchemist off the game with the flurry of attacks, leading to an arm drag off the ropes. He takes Hechero down for a 2 count. Cassidy teases a dive to the floor as the show cuts off to a mid-match break right at the 10 o'clock hour, which will be 9 o'clock where I'm at. When the show returns, Cassidy begins making a comeback, but his leg gives out trying to keep up. He also seems to be favoring his arm. In the end, Cassidy does a simple roll-up out of nowhere for the pin to win. An advanced speedball. My Baby comes out and stares Cassidy down for the entrance stage as the show goes on there and stuff. So winner and advancing Orange Cassidy. So good show tonight stuff. Man, it was crazy show tonight. No, it was good. Fucked up what Christian Cage said to Nick Wayne and all that stuff. But yeah. Anyways, that was it for this video. Hope you like it. Not whatever stuff. So like, subscribe, hit the bell button, leave a comment. If you guys want to leave a comment stuff, I don't care what you guys do. And that was it. And I can see you guys next week for WWE Friday Night SmackDown. Alright? Laters.